Today's moment of hope comes from Psalm 30, verse 5, and it goes as follows: For his anger lasts only a moment, but his favor lasts a lifetime. Weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning. David is finally at a position where he is king. He's finally in a position where the anointing has come to fulfillment, that which is placed on him when he was a teenager. Can you imagine how David must have felt in those years of going through difficult moments when he was anointed as king, but for many years he was sought after by Saul? King Saul chased after David because he didn't want to be replaced by David, and so there were many things that David had to do in that time. There were many places David had to go to escape King Saul's wrath, and King Saul came after him with so much might. David was in a place where he had to be in hiding. He was in a place where he had to live in the enemy's camp for a certain time. There was a time when he lost people dear to him, and there was destruction in his life. There was hurt, there was grief, and there was pain. In those years, David still held on to the fact that he was anointed. He held on to the fact that one day there will be a hope that will come to fulfillment. And finally that time has come, and David writes this poem. He writes this in dedication to God. He says to God how amazing God is, how amazing God has been for him, God taking him through those moments of hurt, how God has saved him from moments where he just made it in life, where he could have died, but God was there to help him. He explains how God has lifted him up from those moments of dark places. And we see that God puts him in a position of royalty. Finally, a position of royalty. He makes the comparison between night and day. He makes the comparison to say that weeping may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning. Joy comes in the morning. You see, this morning, maybe you're sitting in a position where you're going through that evening part, you're going through that night part, you're going through the weeping part, where you're experiencing hurt and pain, where maybe you've lost a loved one, or maybe you've lost a job, maybe someone close to you has left you in your relationship, and you feel broken and you feel hurt. Maybe you are heartbroken at this point because your child perhaps is not walking in the ways that maybe you have seen for him or her, and you feel that hurt and pain because you know there's a potential they can reach that God has placed upon them. Maybe there's certain things in your household that are not coming to fulfillment the way that you thought or even imagined, and you never saw your life to be where it would be now. And you're going through those moments of weeping, you're going through those moments of hurt. But can I just assure you that morning is coming, joy is coming. You see, it speaks about weeping may endure for the night. Look at that word, endure. It speaks about there being a limitation to the endurance, because if something can be endured, it can come to an end. You see, the night will come to an end. You see, it's destined and designed that way, that evening must come to an end. David makes a metaphor of that. He gives a description of night being this dark place where you find yourself. But morning has to come. There has to be a break of dawn. There has to be a new time, a new moment, a transitional phase that comes about. You see, the thing about a new day is that yesterday is gone. Last night is behind you, and you look ahead at a new day. This morning, I want to encourage you that you see, many times you're going through those tough times in your life, but God is the only one that can take you through that night moments and bring you into the moments of joy, bring you into the moments of a morning coming. You see, the morning is approaching, so you need to be aware of that. It won't be dark forever because light is coming. And whatever situation you're dealing with right now, I pray that the light of God would shine upon it, that you would have wisdom on how to move through it, that you would have the endurance on how to persevere in it, and that you would have the rejoicing strength to know that morning is coming. And I believe that God will be with you in this season. In closing, we see that David says that the Lord's anger may last for a moment, but his favor lasts for a lifetime. And reading through the story of David, we do see that God used all those moments, those dark moments that he went through, for discipline. He used all those moments to build character. He used all those moments for him to enjoy the favor that would last for a lifetime. And that favor might not be materialistic things, but it definitely is spiritual, eternal, kingdom inherit things that God has in store for us. And that's where we can find our hope. That's where we can find our refuge, is knowing there's an expected end, that we spend eternity with the King. May you be blessed this morning, and may you be encouraged that you see weeping may endure for the night, but joy is coming in the morning.